If you've made it to this video, there's a good chance that you are looking to start, grow, or scale a private practice, and this is a great place for you to have landed. I am Kavalin Day. I am a coach who helps other therapists, just like yourself, do just that, start, grow, and scale their private practice. But I have been around for a while, and in the last few years, I've been pretty vocal about my belief that things are changing in the mental health industry, and that the private practice owners who are going to be successful need to change along with it. Now, that doesn't mean you have to give up what you really want. It doesn't mean that you have to do things that are out of alignment with your values or your ethical code, but it does mean that you have to be more keen about the business side of things. And for most people, that's the part you didn't get in grad school, and it's the part that feels the most uncomfortable or unfamiliar. So for a while, I have been hosting something called CEO Clarity Workshop, and it is a space where I and a few therapists get into a room and we go through their business with a fine-tooth comb. We look at the numbers, we make decisions about how to improve the numbers, and they take action right then and there. It's based on my model of having a sustainable private practice, the same model that I am currently operating here in Indiana at a practice that's been around for about 16 years, has done tens of thousands of sessions and millions in revenue. So I know that these things are working in real time, and I am very happy to share them with you. Now, most of the people who've gone through this workshop have paid for it, but I am, for a moment, going to offer this for free. Now, here's why I'm doing this. I am noticing as we're starting to have more of these conversations about the platforms and about who's behind the changes and who's at fault for the changes, I am seeing more of this dichotomous conflict coming up with really great therapists who really shouldn't be at odds with each other, right? I'm seeing people who are saying, I would love to get away from the platforms, but can you show me how I can afford these things and how I can have, a good quality of income and a good quality of life and not having to work around the clock? And then there's people on the other end of the spectrum who say, I don't care if it's easier, but I think you're wrong and you're making it harder for everyone. And so rather than getting on either side of the conflict, which I understand both sides, I want to just present the option of, hey, either way you believe, here's a solution. Here's a path to grow a sustainable private practice. And because I want to limit the barriers to entry, I'm going to offer this for free. Most people have paid up to $150 for this session, and I am giving you access to it for free. But there is a cost, so I'm going to make it very clear to you. The cost of this is your time and your attention, right? And because I am presenting something, I want to make sure that I'm super honest with you about everything that's going to come as a part of this workshop, okay? So first and foremost, I typically limit this to a very small room so that I can have a lot of interaction with the people in this space. In order to give as much access as possible, I'm going to have to shift the structure of this just a little bit, but I am capping it at 100 people in the room. That is the max that I will allow. So I'm not limiting registration at all, but whoever gets in to that room on that day is whoever gets in. Now, I will make sure that there's at least a limited time recording so that if you're not able to make it into the room, that you will still be able to see it. And I'm looking around for some possibilities of some streaming options as well, but I can only guarantee that there will be about 100 seats in the room, period. Okay? That's number one. Number two, this is my job. This is something that I do. It's a part of my business. And one of the things that I always want to do is make sure that people understand that this is a business. And so as a business owner who is doing something as a part of my business, there's going to be two spaces where you're going to have an opportunity to pay for what I am offering, okay? Number one is at the end of registration, you'll have an option to opt into a paid one-on-one session with me. It is a special offer, so it is a little bit discounted, but there is a limit on those because I only have a limited number of one-on-one time, right? And then at the end of the workshop, I'll talk to you about what it might look like to work with me on an ongoing basis. And that could be something that we're doing in a group, or it could be something that we're doing one-on-one, but I'll tell you about what that looks like. It's not going to be the whole workshop, but there will be at least a point of the workshop where I mention those things. So if you don't want to hear those kind of things, don't register. If you're okay hearing those, whether you want to take me up on the offer or not, then you should definitely join the room, because that's going to be a little piece of a really wonderful opportunity. So full disclosure about all of that. So here's what I want you to know. This is open to the public, so you can share this page far and wide. I would love to have tons and tons of people registered, because I think that it is so much better for us to have honest dialogue rather than this, tense conflict that doesn't seem to get us anywhere. I think that there's a lot of people who benefit if we divide and conquer, and I do not want to be any part of that. So share this far and wide. Registration is not limited, but it is required. And remember, put this date on your calendar and the time on your calendar so that you can make sure you're in the room early enough to get your seat. I hope that this will be a really helpful opportunity for everyone and that you'll be able to walk away feeling hopeful and excited about the business and the legacy that you're building. And I look forward to seeing you in the room.